Going live apparently. Yo yo. Yeah. Yo. All right. I think we're live. Hope this is working. Check it out. I'm in Hobart. Come down here for a trip. That's Junior playing in the background there. Trying out the whole, I don't know, Google got rid of Google Hangouts, and so this is its replacement. I don't even know if I can share my screen on this. Doesn't Google Hangouts used to have it so that you'd fiddle around with stuff and play with stuff beforehand, and then you could actually then go live. I got someone's in there. Someone's eager. Who's PH? I don't know who you are, but cool. Glad you're here. This is really more or less me practicing and giving this a try and just seeing, because I haven't actually got an encoder. I can't put it on this computer. I'm using... Oh, okay, right, fair enough. I know who you are now. Thanks for that. So I'm down. I'm traveling around. This is the totality of my room. I don't know if you can. Yes, very exciting. So I'm down at Hobart for a conference, which is pretty cool. Having a bit of fun, but I thought I'd give this a try. Seeing we got rid of the whole Hangouts thing, which I quite liked. I thought that, oh geez, that's a great shot of the bed, isn't it? I really like the Hangouts, but this is, I don't know, give the live a go. I wish I could show my screen. I'm not sure how to do that. Anyway, thought I'd just do a quick video for tonight. Seeing on my way, getting a few things planned, having some fun. This at the moment, there is some stuff going on in terms of online Twitter conversation, stuff like that. It's got me thinking. It's really been getting me thinking. The whole, I saw an article come up saying that Disney are now doing remakes of Home Alone. Now, I don't know how old you are if you're watching this. If you ever saw the original Home Alone video films, they were how do I describe them? Terrible. They were terrible. They were not great films. I hated the Home Alone series. The whole franchise just, in my mind, sucked so bad. It was. We had, I don't know, it was like the worst kind of American slapstick. It was super kiddish, like Macaulay Culkin, great actor. I have no problem with Macaulay Culkin as an actor. Some of his older stuff's great. His brother is really good too. Like, I don't know, I'm pretty sure it's his brother who appeared in, what was it? Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I'm pretty sure it was his brother in Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Really good actor. But Macaulay Culkin, fine actor, no problem. But sucky films. I never understood the franchise. I never understood the premise that everyone left the house, got on a plane, and they somehow left him behind. They got on a plane. I mean, I was a parent of all 5 minutes, and I knew I'd never leave my child at home getting on a plane. I mean, it was stupid. Anyway, and then he beats all these. He beats these two robbers who are trying to break into the house and do all this stupid stuff, and madness ensues, and he outwits them, and he keeps the house safe, and nothing gets robbed, and he destroys their lives, and rah. Who cares? It's stupid slapstick American humor. But they're remaking it. Yay! Because, Disney now have a streaming service and they need to make, profits. Here's the thing, that it's not the first thing they've been remaking. Disney are on a bit of a remaking bandwagon at the moment. If you've seen any of their, man, that whole lens flare stuff is just going nuts. Look at that, all over my face. I don't know what to do about it. Anyway, that's just life. We will cope with it for the moment because, extenuating circumstances. If you have, if you've seen anything that Disney has been doing, a lot of their stuff has been remakes. All of their live movies, I haven't seen a single one of their live movie remakes, mostly because They're remakes. I don't care. Like, I liked the original Aladdin. I liked the original. The original Aladdin was great. Loved it. Was in the theater when it came out. Brilliant film. I don't care if you've got real people doing the exact same thing. Didn't need a live action Lion King, even though Jon Favreau was the director, and I'm quite a fan of Jon Favreau. Don't need live action Cinderella. Don't need live action any of that crap. I mean, the thing is, it's just like that's the straight remakes. But then, like I was thinking about it because also HBO are bringing out the Watchmen series now. Watchmen in the comic book verse are also being remade. They've had I can't even remember the Doomsday Clock stuff. Effectively, it was kind of like a prequel, and now they're bringing out another series which is in the universe of the Watchmen. It acknowledges everything that happened in the Watchmen, but it's not really. Who knows? Well, I think PH says, I think they're just trying to milk the movies a bit more. Yes, yes. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's not just that they're trying to milk it for more money, because I think, yes, they can milk it for money. I think it's the safest option for Hollywood. There's a lot that goes on in terms of making a movie and having to try and mitigate risk. Remakes are popular because it's a proven franchise. They remake something that's already made money because they know that yes, they can make some more money, as you say, PH, but also because they might even be able to pick up some of a newer audience. But it's a franchise that's already proved itself. I was really thinking about this because I was having a discussion online with someone who was complaining about the remake of the whole Home Alone franchise, and I mean, we're practically preaching to the choir here, right? Like, we both thought this was a bad idea, not because we didn't think it would make money. I'm pretty confident that Disney can make money if they get up there and decide to do a live action version of The Lion King, even if it's the same story as the original Lion King. They'll make money, no problem. My issue is that it's safe and it's uninteresting, and I don't give a damn. It's happening in comics more and more. Like, you look at Marvel comics in particular, anything that was a classic storyline is getting revisited. How many times do we have to have Phoenix Saga? Even look at the movies. The Phoenix Saga movies are some of the worst X-Men films in the franchise. The Phoenix Saga story by Chris Claremont is one of the best X-Men storylines. One of the best. The Dark Phoenix. And they always do it wrong in the films. Can I just say, sorry, I'm standing on my soapbox right now. They always get it wrong in the films because they move immediately to Dark Phoenix. They do the Dark Phoenix saga as if that's the most interesting part, but none of it matters without the setup of who the Phoenix is. The Phoenix entity and the whole Phoenix saga is paramount to understanding the Dark Phoenix. And the Dark Phoenix is about the corruption of the good and how really, when we think about all that is good in terms of life, of sensate experience, the enjoyment, and then we see the perversion of that through its excess, which we experience through the Dark Phoenix. I think on a very psychological level, they miss the point if they just jump straight to the Dark Phoenix part. Sorry, I'm coming down now. That said, here's this really great story arc that Chris Claremont took people on through and through this journey of the saga. And that they keep remaking this film. I mean, they did X3 and the current X-Men film, but the storyline keeps popping up in various little ways. I think it's because they know that it's a storyline that was really popular. And in some sense, because it worked before, surely it will work now. And yes, they're probably right in many regards. Even though these films were pretty terrible, the storyline itself was one of the more redeeming features. So no matter how bad it was, it still wasn't as bad as it could have been if they went with some other story. Theoretically. Now, Hollywood's all about mitigating costs. It's all about mitigating risk and making sure they make the most money possible they can out of a franchise. It's why Avatar, after one film, okay, granted, it made a crap load of money. Like, I mean, bucket loads. Look, it made a Niagara Falls amount of money. It was a redonkulous amount of money. sure, it gets a it gets another one, it gets another film, but they've actually gone with 4 different films. But how many times do we see not only remakes, but even the next storyline follows the same. What's on in the background? What movie is that? I think we've stopped seeing Junior. Some Who knows? Enjoy the movie going on there. Who knows? But even when they do sequels, a lot of the sequels just follow the same pattern of the original story. Even like freaking Fast and the Furious. Good golly, how is that still a thing? The thing is that all of it's safe. It's safe. All these remakes are safe. So there's no real exploration in filmmaking going on. And I think it's actually getting worse. It's always been a safe endeavor. Remakes have been a thing going on for ages. Hold on. Apparently, they played the female Avatar. Also played Gamora. Yes, that is true. Apparently, the female who played the female Avatar also played Gamora in the MCU. That is correct. Um, that was it's not coming to me. The actress for Gamora, what's her name? Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm looking it up right now. I can't believe it. Like my brain is Zoe Saldana. Yes, that's right. That's correct. So yes, she played the female role in Avatar. The love interest with the how they intermingled their hair, and that was how they got intimate, was intermingling hair and tying their hair together. Very intimate moment in Avatar. It was lovely. It was lovely. It was very sensual. I just couldn't wait to one day when I could tie my hair into someone else's hair and have a truly meaningful experience like that. Moving. Anyway, yeah. So that was Zoe Saldana. I'm mumbling it because I actually don't know how to pronounce it properly. That's to my shame, by the way. She's an excellent actress. And I'm not complaining about any of the actors or anything in the movie Avatar. I just thought Avatar, the movie, was an overrated piece of crap. But people loved it, so it gets the money and it gets what it deserves. If people love it, then they pay for it. It's fine. I can't complain too much. I just thought it was a terrible film, and that's just me. That's a personal opinion. So anyway, the whole thing is that my big concern right now is that we are getting so safe filmmaking wise. We are looking to replicate story, even to the point now where we've pretty much given up on really exploring originality. I just fear. My biggest fear is that it's going to become harder for new, interesting filmmaking to be done. I fear that the movies, comic books, even novels, I think to some extent, are just going to rely on stale, old, used storylines, not even stale, old, used tropes. I mean, effectively, there's only a limited number of different types of stories you can tell. And any narrative course will teach you that. But there's an infinite array of diversity that you can put into your story. But storylines themselves, the actual what sells is becoming completely safe. So I feel we're only going to go for the blockbuster stuff that has worked well previously, in the hope that we can just replicate the blockbuster money. And even if we can't replicate the blockbuster money, we can still sell a pretty good story that will do well. I think we need to demand more. I think we need better from our movie making. I think we need better from our comics. I think we need better from our storytellers. My thought is that, and it's not a new thought, but a lot of the real originality in filmmaking and comic book writing is going to come from the indie scene. But the problem is we're working really hard to kill off the indie scene. Indie scene is often seen as unprofessional. It's not seen as interesting. It doesn't have the slick and the glamour. But I tell you, I think unless we really cultivate the indie scene and give it some legs and give it some life, we're not going to see a lot of interesting storylines coming out our way. I think Hollywood needs an injection of life. I think it has to come from independent filmmakers, independent storytellers. Otherwise, we're just going to get stuck into this quagmire of retelling old storylines. It's so bad. It's just remaking stuff now. We're just doing remakes. So I'm interested. I'm hoping that we can do something to cultivate new storytellers, to cultivate new storylines, to see characters differently, to open the door to new characters. And I think if we're looking at a more diversified um, genre, like we complain about the nature of movies as being pretty homogenous in its representation, maybe we need to really sort of take more risks and somehow find a way to invite risk taking, maybe even reward risk taking with being willing to go and check stuff out with the opportunity, with possibility that it could be bad. I just don't know where it's going to come from. Maybe it'll come from YouTube. I don't know. But we need more independent storytellers, more people willing to try new stories, give new storylines a go, somehow do something to really buck the trend that's happening in Hollywood, happening in Marvel, happening in DC, where we're just replaying. We're on replay. Same old crap, dished up again. And it's not even, now we've gotten beyond the trying to do it differently. Now it's just literally, let's just give it to you again and we'll just update the artwork and make it look pretty, or have some sort of, I don't know, trick or publicity stunt to make it more interesting. I don't know. It's just terrible. We need some way of moving forward. And somehow we've got to invite new stuff. We've got to find a way to invite creativity back and breathe life into the movie making industry and comic making industry. I don't know. What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear thoughts. Thanks, PH, for joining me for this very quick giving this a go, checking out the live cam. Can't say I was a big fan of it as Hangouts. Hangouts was way better, but maybe it's just an indication that I need to find some better media for doing live stream stuff. So, yeah, well, it's worth giving stuff a go. Thanks for joining me tonight. Until next time, my name's Dave Adams, and you've been watching Nerds of Wisdom. Now, let's see if I can turn this off. How does that go? Oh, one last thing. That's, yeah.